is Brittany. In today's video, we're going to talk about this month's favorites and fails. I have almost everything on my face right now. I did this look super quick. That's what I love about these products because it gets me in and out lickety split. So if you guys like favorites and fails, don't forget to subscribe because I do these every single month. Don't forget to thumbs it up or thumbs it down. That's cool too if you're enjoying yourself though. I mean, why not? Share it amongst your friends and let's just get into it because I have favorites primarily, one fail that I could think of, and then I got just basically like follow-ups of stuff that I know that I talked about or like dedicated a video to a while ago, and I just wanted to revisit it because it kind of fell in between months. So we're gonna get into that. So the first thing, oh, the mic is off. What is that better now? What the fuck? It's like, why does it do this? Let me know if it's working now. The fuck? You guys at least come through in the live chat. Sound, help, help, help. Good thing it was only the intro. Can you hear me now? Sound is low. Hello, hello. If you're watching the playback, just, you know, skip ahead. I'll do timestamps after. Can you hear me now? I mean, it shows that you could hear me. Mic is okay. It's probably catching up. Mic is good. See the beauty of live streams. You guys come and correct me, right? Okay. We're better now. Let's start with a bang. Let's start with some alcohol because I'm actually drinking just like flavored water tonight. That's never fun. But I have to mention this. My mom's going to be so proud because she has been obsessed with this for months. My mom goes in on the Smirnoff pink lemonade. Let me tell you, this stuff is dangerously good. I guarantee I could drink this like straight out the bottle. It's that good. So I like to mix this with either like Crystal Light pink lemonade or the Simply lemonade. It's just thebomb.com if you haven't tried this. This I think was new for this year. I mean, if you guys didn't know, I'm a bar owner, so this is going to be like a regular thing. I'm always going to be trying new things. Did you guys see that Bud Light is coming out with like fall seltzers? I'm so intrigued about them. But this was the favorite. I love it. I was drinking it in last night's video, actually. So the next thing I wanted to mention is faves. Okay. I haven't dedicated a video to this yet, but if you guys still want it, let me know. I have been loving, surprise, surprise, the Scott Barnes single blushes because I love his quality of products, and I just think that they fit just perfectly in my collection because he has that, I feel like, really makeup artist mentality when it comes to the products that he does. So I already knew that I love the formula, his blushes. These do remind me of his originals, except I think that these are even more like buildable. So the reason that I like these is because they're these like crazy vibrant looking colors, especially like two of these ones that I have. I think two of them are repeats from the like Cheek Chic palette. And then you see colors like this. You've got Plumeria, which is the yellow, and then you have Ultra Pink, and I think there's one other one that's like bright purple. These do not look like this on your face. They're very buildable, but they just give a beautiful sheen. What I love about his products is they just look so flattering on the skin. And I feel like these are just like a perfect fit for my collection because I don't have shades like this, especially the yellow. Like, am I going to use this as a blush by itself? No, but why I like this is basically how I feel that he probably uses it is to calm down if you over apply your blush. It just gives, instead of using like a translucent loose powder, it still gives like a peachiness to it because typically your blushes are going to be like a pink. So when you mix in the yellow, it gives a peachiness and it just lightens it a little bit. So that's where I've been really liking these, but I'm wearing the highlighter. This is on my face right now. This is the Downright Dewy highlighter. Gorgeous. I love his formulas because they're just flattering, blinding, and they don't really accentuate a ton of my texture either. I just think they look nuts. They're beautiful. So this is the only one I have down currently because I have another favorite that I want to apply for you guys on top. But if I were to pick one that's my favorite, so you get this like black sleeve over them. But the Scott Barnes Samba Sass, this, I don't, like, you could, I feel, see the texture in this. Like, whenever I look at my hand, it always looks brown whenever I hold it up. So whenever I look at this, I'm like, there's no way that this is going to look good on my texture, because it's like you could see that there's like gold particles in here, but the shade of this is just so up my alley. But you see how when you smooth it out, it just looks reflective. It doesn't look like it's accentuating the texture. Like, this is actually on my blush right now, and it just looks so different. Like, when you look at it in the pan, you're going to be like, ooh, that's like Texture City, but it's not. That's what I love about his products so much, is how flattering they look, especially on my texture. He just does it right, man. I know his products are super expensive. I think these are like 30 bucks a piece. I think I have a discount link down below. It'll give you like $20 off 100 or something. I don't know. It's like some sort of incentive if you use that link down below. So I recommend these if you guys still want a dedicated video to these, because I never got around to it. But one thing that it's just kind of odd, I've never heard of this before. On the packaging, it says, due to the intense color and pigment, this formula is light sensitive. And I know that he talks about that in his like launch video. These stay in my drawers anyways, but I feel like you get it. Let me, you know what? I got my shoulder peeping out a little bit over here today. Let me throw this on the shoulder blade. Hopefully it translates, because I don't know if my lights will actually like pick it up correctly. No, it's not going to, but I feel like you could see it. I thought that these were going to be too light, but this is like such a soft layer. The light's just not hitting this, because my lights are a little bit higher, so they're more of like focused on my face, you know? So if I put this on my shoulder, like in real life, you'll see it. You could kind of see where I applied it, but it's not showing the reflection. That was a miss, but this is it right here. And on the brow bone and on the inner corner. So foul showcasing that, but I think it's beautiful. And there's that. I will say though, if you haven't tried his blushes, go for like the Chic Cheek palette, just because the value, you get highlighters and blushes. These are 30 bucks, that's like 45. I would just go that route. But if you already have that and you want these like different sort of colors, especially like bright colors like these, then you would want to go for the singles. So there's that, Scott Barnes blush singles. I love them. You guys let me know if you still want that video. So let's move on to an oldie but a goodie, because I pulled this back out. There's one shade specifically that I'm like, this needs to be a single. Fuck the rest of this palette, this needs to be a single. And it's so funny because this is basically like the product that I feel was like the beginning of the end. The Hourglass, the Illume Sheer Trio in the shade Sunset. This cream bronzer is pure perfection for my skin tone. I have this on my face now. It's the formula, it's the shade of it. It just blends perfectly. Like these two, they're fine. It's this shade right here. Like if Hourglass just launched this, I would buy it just because it works so well with my skin tone. It's so creamy and it blends so easily. It's perfect. I love it. Oh, he's having a sale right now? Listen, don't ever pay full price for Scott Barnes. He always has like 20 to 30% off. Never pay full price at Scott Barnes. But that's good to know. So back to the bronzer. I just love this. It's insanely expensive. I know it doesn't appeal to a lot of different skin tones, but if you are probably like light to tan, this would probably work for you. If you're any deeper or if you're fair, it might be too dark for you. But if you're in like I said, light to tan, this will highly likely work for you. So I love that. And then what I've actually been loving, which really surprised me, is this E.L.F. the putty primer applicator. I've been using this for my cream bronzer. And it works perfectly because I always say I want a smaller version of the BK106, and this is basically what that is. This is perfect, and it's super inexpensive. I know the purpose of it is for the primers, but no. Use this for cream bronzer, and it fits perfectly on my face. I love it. I bet you this is like $3 to $6. So that was a win. That was actually sent to me by E.L.F., and I was pleasantly surprised. And that will kind of take me into the fail, because at first I was like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad, and then I tried it a couple more times and I'm like, no. Especially when we're comparing it to a formula like this. The E.L.F. the putty bronzer, it just applies very streaky, it applies patchy, it's just, it doesn't lay down even. And I noticed too, I have I think the shade medium, these were all sent to me by the way, but I noticed that it's just like something about this, it's a little bit warmer than I would typically like. I mean, it doesn't really look it right there, but when I apply it to my face, I don't know, I think it's just the formula. It feels almost like greasy, so I wonder if that's why it doesn't lay evenly. Like I said, when you're comparing like this to this, no comparisons whatsoever, not even close. So even though this is super inexpensive, to me, it still wouldn't be worth it. I just saw Ashley said the E.L.F. crease brush is perfect for nose contour. I don't ever touch my nose because I always don't, because I have a pretty big nose. Like, I feel like it's like average size for like it fits my face, but I don't like to draw any more attention to it, so I never fuck with my nose. Ever, except for like highlighter, but contour, no fucking way. It looks terrible, or at least I just don't know how to do it correctly. So the E.L.F. putty bronzer, for me, it was a miss, but let's keep going. Next thing, I keep going back and forth from like brushes, sponges, brushes, sponges. The winner for me still, I've been loving this Haley's Beauty Sponge. This and their loose powder, fantastic. I love them. This was sent to me too. I love like the bounciness of this. I love the fact that I have not ripped this, and I've washed this several times. I just really like the texture of it, and it has just enough bounce. It holds just enough water. It's just, I feel like, aside from the Beauty Blender, I think this comes second, maybe third. Like the BK Beauty Sponge I really liked as well, but this is the one, it's been, you know, top drawer. I've been reaching for it when I'm reaching for a sponge, but I feel like I keep gravitating back towards brushes. But like today, I feel like the sponge works so well with the foundation I'm going to talk about, and that's the Chantecaille The Future Skin. If you have been watching any of my videos for the past month, like since I got this, because I was basically testing out Chantecaille products the whole month. So this for me caught me so off guard, just because I was not expecting to like it nearly as much as I do. Like, I thought it was going to be good because I feel like everybody raves about it that has it, but I feel like I hear more people rave about the compact, and I was like, I don't know, just knowing me and knowing how I usually feel about compacts, I typically like something that comes in like a jar, or a pump is my most ideal. I feel like I basically like everything else except for compacts. Okay, so that's where I was like, you know what, I'm going to start with this first, and if I like this, I will try the compact later. So this is, I think, like $80. The compact is $120, something around that line. But if you're looking to shop Chantecaille, I think today's the last day of the Sylvie sale. You could use the code BRIT30. It's not affiliate. I'll link it down below. But you could use that code and get 30% off. That is the time to get this fucking foundation. 30% off. Worth every penny. Like, I would pay full price for this. That's how good it looks. It's on my face right now. It just looks perfect. Oh, Lisa said her Chantecaille came in, it's the wrong color. No! I bet you if you email them, they'll probably exchange it for the same price. Reach out to customer service. I would highly recommend doing that, because they're usually fantastic. So this one, I'm in the shade Shea. So if you're my skin tone, I'm like, I would say medium with neutral undertones right now. This does look a little bit more yellow than I would like, but I could still make it work. I love this damn foundation. Definitely at the top of my list for products from Chantecaille that I would buy. 100%, because that was sent to me. And then I have two other products that I really love this month, but I'm actually going to wait, because there's a brand that I want to follow up with, but I want to compare the other Chantecaille products to that. So I'll do those a little bit after. So let's talk about concealer. I don't know what it is about this, but I keep reaching for it. I basically haven't touched any of my other concealers ever since I got the LANCOME, the Teint Idol Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I got this at Ulta. I'll link it down below. This, it's not like the best coverage. I would say if you want like a high coverage concealer, this is not going to be the one. But why I like this one, because I typically like, a more like skin-like type of finish. That's just what I feel is the most flattering on me. So this I would say is probably like a medium coverage because it still does cover like imperfections and stuff. So I'll lay this down underneath my foundation to do almost like the Scott Barnes technique. But it works so well. I have the shade, I think it's just Bisque Cool. It says BIS on the bottom and then like apostrophe C. Like I said, I got it at Ulta. I'll link it and then I'll put like the exact shade that I have. So this is what the shade looks like. It's a neutral undertone. It just reminds me of like a thinner version of this foundation. So the foundation is definitely a thicker formula. This is very thin. So I do notice that I typically like to go in and do like my underpainting. I'll put my foundation on and then sometimes I'll go in with a little bit more if I want just like a little bit more coverage, but it gives me that natural look and it doesn't age me at all. And that's a big thing for me, especially like under eye area. Like I guarantee I could go in with this over the top of what I'm wearing now and it would work perfectly fine. It's just a really great formula. I feel if you have like fine lines, wrinkles, I don't think any formula out there is gonna like not fall into creases. Is that like a thing? I feel like it's just like every concealer does that, but it's the thinness. Is that a word? It's very thin, and that's what I like about it because it doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't feel heavy. It just feels like nothing. It's a great concealer. I've been really enjoying it. Like this is even thinner than like Dior. This is, I think, even more natural looking than the Dior, and Dior is one of my favorites. So I think if you're wanting like high coverage, go for Pat McGrath. If you want a natural with a little bit more coverage, go for Dior, because I think Dior is like medium to full coverage. If you want not as much coverage, but a really natural finish, this, you know what, I think this would be great for like teenagers. Because I feel like teenagers, they really need just like the lightest amount of concealer, especially like for their under eyes and stuff, just because of how thin it is and how natural it looks. Like, I feel like it looks just like you're not even wearing, like, I don't know, I just look at my face and I'm like, I could easily be like, is she wearing concealer? Because it's like my skin still peeks through just a little bit, and I like that. So this one, I'm a big fan. I would recommend it. I would get it at Ulta because point system. Okay? Let's hit another fail. Okay, so I tested out. I was doing like a new makeup releases and I picked up the Cosmetics, the like Venetian Rose collection. It had the eyeshadow palette, the blushes. The blushes are gorgeous, but I haven't used them enough to feature them like as favorites, but they're beautiful. So I also picked up the Moonbeam Cushion Highlighter in the shade Aura. The shade of this is beautiful. The packaging looks stunning because it has almost like that iridescence to it. It reminds me a lot of like the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism powders, how it has that like iridescence to it, you know what I'm saying? But this is just not it for packaging for a liquid illuminator. So it's like a cushion, and then it comes with this. It's very difficult for me to use something like this to look like I want it to for like a precise highlight, if that makes sense. So I have tried using like a brush, like dipping a brush in here. It's not ideal. The packaging is what makes this a miss for me because it's like the product itself is beautiful. Like it picks up too uneven to like pair it with a brush. But it's like the formula is beautiful. This needs to be in like a pump or something. The cushion was not it for me. So that's the only reason why I would say that this is a fail, is just because of the packaging. I think formula-wise, though, it's really, really beautiful. I really like the aesthetic of Cosmetics. It's just, I was like, I don't know, maybe like the cushion is just like too dense, because if you could get like a brush to tap in there easily, it wouldn't be as bad. Just no, for a liquid, I'm just like, no, this was not the way to go. Let's do it, and even like the dropper packaging, that's even better than that. So I'm going to keep going with Cosmetics because there was one other thing that I got, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, when I talk about favorites, I talk about stuff that makes me say, holy shit, or I reach for it constantly. So the Cosmetics, the Morning Dew Lip Gloss. Y'all know I'm a glossy hoe, right? This is so, where could I put this? So so juicy. I feel like I've heard people talk about this forever, and I've always wanted to try it. And oh bitch, I'm so glad. Like, this was one I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna add to cart. So juicy. The only downfall is it's clear. So you usually want to use, you know, like a lip brush or something, but ain't nobody got time for that right now. So I'll basically just take my, like, makeup remover wipe and just wipe this off. But do you see the shine and juiciness of this gloss, though? Not a new product, but a new product for me. And it's just so, it's so comfortable. It's so juicy. It smells like almost like cookies. I was gonna say frosting, but oh, look at that. Juicy. Oh no, that's a piece of the makeup remover wipe. Yeah, it's got like a sugary type fragrance to it, but it's not like cake, but it smells really almost like a sugar cookie. Maybe that's what it smells like. But this gloss, so good. Angelica, this is very spur of the moment. That's pretty much how shit's gonna be. I would recommend turning on your notifications, because it's like, oh, I got time right now, let's just go live. Fuck it. Alright, now, couple more products. Let's do a follow-up. Okay, y'all know I love my Dyson, right? Dyson Airwrap, used it today. I used it on dirty hair today, so it doesn't have the same effect, and I need a haircut, because it's like, it's weighing my hair down quite a bit. Like, my hair doesn't stay, like, I don't have my Farrah Fawcett hair right now, okay? But I will say, I have, I think, all the attachments for the Dyson. So I've been using the longer barrels for pretty much since I got them. I think since, like, holiday time, maybe a little bit after that. And I was like, okay, I know my hair is getting a little longer, because my hair doesn't hold as good when my hair is longer. So I'm like, all right, something's not right. I went back to these ones, like the original ones that comes with the unit. These work better for my hair. Like, as far as giving me a better curl, which is so strange, because I'm like, you would think that the longer barrels would work better, but they don't. I say that these work better is because I feel like the air gets through these ones easier. I don't feel like you're getting as much like suction with the Airwrap to your hair with the longer ones. It's almost like the peepholes aren't big enough, I think. So I've been going back to these ones, and I'm like, oh, these are back to the favorites. The shorter barrels that come with just the whole system. So there's that. I wanted to update you guys on that. So there's a little, like, really old follow-up on an old-ass product that I still love to this day. I know people still ask me, like, do I still love the Airwrap? Yes. Would buy it again. That's how much I still love it. And then I couldn't remember if I mentioned this last month, so I'm going to mention this quickly because it's an older product, but I'm like, this is what I've been going for, except for, like, yesterday when I used the NARS palette. So I'm looking for, like, these one-and-dones, right? And I feel like I mentioned this last month because I feel like this has been, like, an ongoing thing for summer, because being in front of my lights, it gets hot. I just want to be in and out. So the Tom Ford, these are the cream and powder eye color, and the shade Naked Bronze is so good. I actually used the shade Black Sand this month as well. Black Sand is also beautiful. Like, this is one, I feel like videos didn't do this one justice, but if I were to pick any of them, like, I have a few other ones. Naked Bronze is the winner. It's just beautiful. Naked Bronze is what I'm wearing right now. It's just like a perfect everyday, like, one and done sort of a shadow, but it lasts all fucking day. Like, this will not budge. This is basically like what I wear to film weddings, and this will last me all day long. This whole, like, sort of a face, this would be what I would wear. So these, the Tom Ford cream color duos, I love these damn things. But that's all I'm going to say about those, because I'm pretty sure that I mentioned that last month as well. Oh, Xana likes the lashes I'm wearing today. Good, because I'm going to talk about them. Let's talk about Alien Cosmetics. Alien Cosmetics, these are the Wink lashes. These are what are on my eyeballs right now. I wore these yesterday. I've been wearing these all month. And I'm like, you know what? These are like 10 or 12 bucks. These are like the perfect like everyday but more glamorous type of lashes for me. It's got a thicker band, but it's really easy to, I think, manipulate and set on my eyes. And I love that they taper. It's like shorter on the inner corner, it tapers to longer on the outer corner. These are just the lashes that are really flattering. Is my one corner, I feel like it's not sticking on this inner corner, which is always the case. But these just work perfectly for me. I love them. They remind me a lot of like Iconics from House of Lashes, except I think they're more natural looking because they have like a certain like fluttery and wispiness to them. But they're not like my usual like Kiss 11s or Kiss 01s. Like those are super like wispy and fluttery. These, they're a little bit more, I would say, like of a statement type of lash. I love these. And this packaging is so damn cute. I love it. And Nico's asking, where am I going? I ain't going fucking nowhere except my bed. I'm going to go sit like this and fill up my description box for probably the next hour. So those are Alien Cosmetics. And then I also was like, so shocked because I'm like, you know what, for how crazy this palette looks, I used this in a previous video as well, I think it was new makeup releases, the Alien Cosmetics, the Low Light, this is the type of palette, if you have like, I feel like holidays is when I, like St. Patrick's Day, whoa, I just totally like hit myself in the lips, like St. Patrick's Day when I want those like editorial type of highlights, like you got the greens and stuff in here. But these highlighters are so blinding. Look at, but they're so pretty. Like when you put them on your face and they have like a slight duochrome shift. These are not your everyday highlighters by any means. But when you put them on, like they're so blinding and so beautiful. I'm going to swatch them so you can see what they actually look like. But these are another one. It's like when you swatch them, you're like, that's going to be way too much on the face. Like, you would think it's going to accentuate texture because of how textured they look in the pan. But they don't. They look super smooth, and then they're going to give you that duochrome sort of a vibe to it. Like I said, not an everyday sort of a highlighter situation, but I'm like, you know what? There is always a time and a place for something like this, especially Halloween is coming up. Holiday time, especially like the drinking holidays. That's what I like to call them. So this, it's like, I'm not going to use it all the time, but there's a time and a place for it, and I'm glad that I have it. I feel like the Kat Von D, remember like the Alchemist palette, I think it was? I feel like that was the one for a really long time, but I'm like, nope. Now I got another one, and it's Alien Cosmetics. And I actually think that these look prettier on the skin because they have like a sparkle to them. Whereas I feel like the Kat Von D ones, they had more of that like blinding effect, which these are still blinding as well. But these, I think, are like, I don't know, it's like they're still super wearable. I'll try to find the video that I applied this because it's like when you watch it go on, you're like, oh, that actually looks really pretty. It's just like an effect you aren't expecting. So I do really enjoy this. And then it's like highlighter season. Between blushes and highlighters, I can't fucking keep up. But I had to mention this one because, first of all, how often is it that Dior like does the whole like sell out, then restock, then sell out, then restock? These Dior, the Forever Couture Luminizers, and I want to speak specifically about this shade because I picked up number 1 and number 3. This one's number 3. So this is Pearlescent Glow. This one I feel is so different for Dior. I feel like the number 1, it's Nude Glow. It's not much different than what I already had from them. The shade of this one, I did a dedicated video to these, so if you want to hear like more of my thoughts on it, definitely check that out. But do you see, it's this one right here. This gives you that like Edward Cullen skin sparkle. But it's flattering, and that's the best thing about Dior highlighters, is they're super flattering, and they just look not skin-like, they look like they're like a part of your skin, but they almost like a diamond duster for your face, but it doesn't look crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. But this damn highlighter is so fucking fire, and it does have a slight like duochrome shift to it. So for Dior, that's something so different. Nude Glow, I could have lived without. I may or may not have picked up like the light pink one though. Because it's like, I love the packaging. Dior is one of my favorite luxury brands. So it's like, if I'm going to recommend any of them, because this works on my skin tone. It looks like it's going to be way too light. It looks like it's straight up white. It just looks like straight up white sparkle. It almost looks like the Fenty How Many Carats. I think I did a comparison to that in the dedicated video to these, so if you want to know more of my thoughts, I would recommend check out that video because I give you guys so many comparisons. I compare it to all the other Dior highlighters that I own. There's just something very special about the shade number 3. So there's that. I feel like even if you're light skin, tan skin, fair skin, I'm not sure how this would look on deep skin. I don't know if anybody has tried it yet, but it's just like the sparkle effect. Like it doesn't show up white when you apply it with a brush. That's basically what I'm getting at. So I would be curious to see actually a deeper complexion use this. And do not let the pictures online, they're a fucking lie. They do these no justice. They're way prettier in real life. I'll just say that. Okay. Yes, Tammy, thank you for linking the video for me. Oh my God, you always come through, girl. Thank you so much. Okay, let's talk about really quick, and then I'm going to get into the major follow-up that I wanted to hit on today. I'm going to first talk about VIEVE. Because this brand, you know what? This brand just needs a fucking moment. I truly feel that this brand does not get the hype that it deserves because their products are incredible. Okay? They are. Every single thing that I've tried, I'm just like, yep, 10 out of 10. Except for the eye wands. That's the exception. I could probably classify those as like a somewhat fail, but I have tried them since and I had better, a better experience. Let's just talk about it really quick. So when I first tried the eye wand, okay, I have the shade Mahogany. I would recommend using this in the way that I did it the second time, which I don't think you guys saw. I would recommend if you're applying this all over your lid, do one eye at a time. I basically tried to do one eye, and then went and blended. No. These dry to me very quickly. Or what I like to do is just basically dip my brush on it and just kind of fluff it. But if you want more of that pigmentation, you're going to want to like rub it right on your eye. This shade though, pure perfection. I cannot wait to see what she has coming next. If it's a palette, just fuck me all the way up because I'm going to need it. That's where I'm at. Anytime that VIEVE launches a product, I want to buy it. That's how good their stuff is. So an oldie formula for me. I've been trying these ever since they came out. But I picked up another shade in Sorbet. And it's perfect. It's just like the most beautiful peachy pink. But it's not too much. This is a very pigmented formula though. If you have not tried VIEVE blushes, they're so pigmented. Very light hand, very little goes a long way. Okay, let me give you guys a swatch just so you guys can see. I love the shade Cherub. I love the shade Sorbet. I love the shade, I think it's Pesca? No, that's not it. That's the next one I want. What's the other shade that I have? It's the one that looks more brown. Piazza. Piazza, I feel like, is more of like a bronzer, like a blush bronzer. This one, for like spring, summer, gorgeous. I love these. I love the aesthetic of this brand as well. So I picked up the new shade, and it's another fave. Love it. But then this was one that kind of fell in between months, so that's why I wanted to mention it today. You guys have seen me use this pretty much like all month. The VIEVE Modern Bronzer in the shade Medium. As if they couldn't do shit better. Like, this packaging is so much better than like the blush packaging because it's actually like plastic. It feels more, I would say it feels more high-end. You've got the emblem for the brand name. Like, this just looks bougie. It looks luxe. I love it. Let's take this little sticker off. Like, even touches like this, like they put a little plastic seal so it doesn't get scratched. It's just, it's little things like that that I love. So this is what the bronzer looks like. I'm wearing this on my face today. I wore it and you saw me apply it yesterday. It's just a really good bronzer, and it's this effect that I love. It just looks skin-like. There's something with the VIEVE formulas that looks so skin-like. Their powders, their blushes are the same way. Like, everything just looks insanely skin-like. But when you look at the bronzers in the pan, they look like they're going to be matte, but they're not. They don't apply matte on the face. So this is the bronzer I'm wearing. I think it's beautiful, and I love it. And then the last thing, this was another one that kind of was like an overlap. I still haven't tried the gloss yet. I have it like chilling in my collection, but I haven't touched it yet. But this was one of the products that was just like, oh, bitch. Like, as soon as I applied it, I'm like, this is a favorite. Because I think the formula of the Skin Dew is just so unique for my collection. Because I have so many, like, cream liquid highlighters, okay? Something about this one, though, it's so different for my collection because it has, like, almost like a lip gloss feeling to it. And don't let that, like, freak you out. I say that just because it even gives the look of a gloss. Like, I feel like Skin Dew is, like, the perfect name for it because it gives you that wet look to your face. So I'm just putting it over the top of that Scott Barnes. And it's just beautiful. But the main thing that I love about it is it gives you that highlight, but then it also gives you that wetness. So it looks just uber sweaty skin-like, and it just looks gorgeous. I love it. I probably should have applied like one cheek knot so you can see what it looks like without like the highlighter underneath, but it's the formula of this that I love it. I love shit like this because I love that like wet look to the skin. I like my skin to look moist. So I strongly recommend. It's the Skin Dew, the Glow Multitasker. And I love it. I don't love the packaging as much, but I ain't mad at it because that's what it do, baby boo. Okay. I think this is the last items that I wanted to talk about. So I basically wanted to follow up on Lisa Eldridge because I had just gotten Lisa Eldridge, I think, like right before my favorites video. And these were like instant favorites because, oh my god, I'm wearing the lipstick in the shade Rose Official. That's what's on my lips right now, underneath the Morning Dew lip gloss. The Lisa Eldridge lip gloss, it's beautiful. That's actually in my like camera bag. So when I film weddings, that's the gloss I've been using. It's a beautiful formula. It's not like lose my shit over it. I actually do like this formula better. But it's a nice formula. These lipsticks though, these are beautiful. They're a more like sheer, I would say, coverage to them, but buildable. Very comfortable on the lips. Oh no, I don't want to put it over the top because I got the gloss on, but he just scared the shit out of me. Did you guys hear that? This, oh, I love a good magnetic packaging. These are fantastic. Are they my favorite lipstick formulas though? I can't say that they are. But let's talk about the Seamless Skin Enlivening Blush. And let's talk about the Elevated Glow, also Seamless Skin. So these are both the Seamless Skin line. Alright, to start with the blush. These are not my favorite cream blushes, but if you have textured skin, if you are like almost like scared of blushes that look like this, it does not apply that way. These apply so sheer. So I think these are so ideal for like beginners with cream products, especially the blushes, because you saw how pigmented that was. I just dipped my brush in it and it's like, it's such a soft blush that this gives your skin. Super buildable, super easy to work with. But like I said, is it my favorite of all time? No, just because I have other formulas that it's more of like a quicker process. But you see how soft and seamless that was? Still super skin-like. I feel like that is pretty much like the aesthetic of Lisa Eldridge. She wants like your skin but better. And when you look at that, you're like, no way. But then when you put it on your skin, it's a whole different story. But my favorite product that I've tried from Lisa Eldridge is 100% the Elevated Glow, because first of all, this packaging, so bouge. It reminds me kind of the Auric, the Glow by Auric, the oh my god, brain fart on what the name of it is. It's like right here in my collection, or at least it should be. Oh my god, you guys are probably screaming the name. The Glow Dust. It reminds me of this, kind of. It reminds me of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, kind of. Except this has no pigmentation. It doesn't have like that foundation or like a skin tint. It doesn't have any of that. This is solely a liquid highlighter. And that's what I love about it though, is because I could use it as like underneath my makeup. I love this like giant doe foot. It fits perfectly. I'm like, you know what, let's just do it, fuck it. It fits perfectly where I would apply it, and I'll just do like right on the high points there. I'm gonna use the BK, the 108. But this has, again, that just beautifully skin-like. I'm gonna have so much highlighter on my skin, but you're gonna get it. Like, just keep in mind I have other ones underneath. But with this one, it's gonna give you, I would say, like an angelic glow. Whereas I think the VIEVE is gonna give you that more of like bam in your face. This is a lot softer, a lot more natural, a lot more, I think, mature, or if you have a lot more like texture. But I think like formula-wise, if you're familiar with the Hollywood Flawless filter, it's gonna remind you texture-wise of that formula, but it just doesn't have that like foundation sort of a base to it. It's just pure illumination. You know? How about experienced skin? I think if you have more experienced skin, I love that, I would lean mostly towards Lisa Eldridge. But I think still the VIEVE could work because it doesn't accentuate texture either. But if you wear like your hair down, that's pretty much the only downfall. Like if you wear your hair down with this, it will most likely stick to it just because it has that like glossy feel to it. Whereas like Lisa Eldridge, it's just like angelic glow. Almost like a lit from within type of glow. That's what the Lisa is going to give you. But a subtle grown woman highlight, love that. But what I wanted to compare those to are the Chantecaille. I feel like these are like the exact same thing. They remind me so much of each other. Like even from like the textures, the packaging as far as like the blush. I don't know. I feel the same way about like the Chantecaille. I'll do swatches for you guys just so you can see them. I think the Chantecaille blush though has slightly more of like an illumination to it, but the shade is just obviously different. But as far as like how it applies, how you would apply it, how it works, being very minimal but buildable, goes on a lot more sheer. Chantecaille does like exactly what the Lisa Eldridge does. And then the Liquid Lumiere, this is another one. It's fucking stunning. But because it gives you, what did I just say? Because it has that natural lit from within type of glow to it. So it's very similar. Like, let me swatch these side by side. I have the shade Cosmic Rose in the Lisa Eldridge. But these are going to look so similar. Similar effects, like you do not need both, in my humble opinion. Let me give you guys the swatch of Cosmic Rose. But you're going to look at these next to each other and be like, oh yeah, they're like very similar vibes. If anything, I'm seeing a little bit more glow from the Chantecaille. Maybe like a slightly more like highlight, but very minute when you apply it on your face. Like, I think they're both gorgeous. Both gorgeous for no matter what age, no matter what your skin type, no matter what your skin is. Because that's one thing, it's like right here, I don't think a lot of people have to worry about it, like whether you have oily skin or not, because most people, it's like right here is the issue. At least that's what it usually seems like. I don't know though, but as far as my opinions, like Lisa Eldridge and Chantecaille, their cheek products, they remind me so much of each other. So I just wanted to follow up on the Lisa Eldridge because I know I missed that the last time, or it was like right in between. So the Gooden family, you girls got some expensive taste for realsies, but it's that luxury experience that I live for. I love it. So those are everything that I pulled out. If I had to pick one that like knocked my fucking socks off, it's gonna be the Future Skin, 100%. I will leave a link for this down below. I have my code still active until I think tonight. I think it's BRIT 30% off for the Sylvie sale still. I'll link it below after for you guys though. Oh, let's see. Oh, Kiki. It's that Tom Ford Naked Bronze. Yes. Beautiful. And so quick. So quick. This lash is like falling off. Don't mind that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let me know. What were your guys' faves? What was your faves? What were your fails? I need to know. I'm nosy as hell. Oh, let's see. Exactly. Because we're worth it. Treat yourself. Exactly. Is this like the same? I think I was wearing the same thing in last night's video. This self-employed life, I like don't get out of my pajamas because I'm just editing like all day. If VIEVE set down, I would have tried. I love Lisa Eldridge. Charlotte Tilbury was a bit greasy over makeup. I don't think that it does set down though. It just has too much of that like glossy texture to it. I think, let's see, Charlotte Tilbury was okay, you love the Lisa Eldridge. I was going to say, if you're worried about it setting, I think Lisa would be the one that I would recommend for that. Oh, let's see. Is it similar to the Rare Beauty Luminizers? I think Rare Beauty has more highlight to it. I think it's more beaming. And I don't think, like, the more that I use the Rare Beauty one, I noticed the more that I used it, depending on what I had underneath it, sometimes it would break apart my foundations and powders and stuff. I don't notice that, like, bitch, where? Like, there's no breakup from all that, like, highlight I just put on. But Rare Beauty, it's like, it's almost like I feel like the formula, it might be, like, too liquidy, or it almost feels like it's got, like, some sort of an oil in it, maybe. There's something in it that does seem like it breaks down stuff underneath. Because at first I didn't notice it, and then just, like, I became, like, addicted to it. And then just the more that I used it, I'm like, I don't know, like, certain things will break up underneath that one. But if you want more of a highlight, I would go for Rare Beauty, though. It's hard, because it's like, realistically, how different are they? That'd be probably, like, video worthy, like, comparing all of my, like, liquid illuminators, because they're so close to one another. Just got your Future Skin today. Yes, thanks, girl. I'm so glad it's able to save you guys money. Let's see, it's one of my your favorite duos. It's so, so good. I finally tried the Tom Ford bronzer. It's a good little thing. Yes. Which one is it? Did you get the, is it the Soleil bronze? Because there's so many. It feels like there's so many different ones. I did try for the first time today because I washed this earlier. This dried so fast. This is the Refer brush, the 22 that's available in the concept store for like 65 bucks. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this for bronze because it's massive. Like, it's huge. I had to go in with a more precise brush after because I felt like my bronzer was kind of like all over the place. But this one, if you've been eyeing it, I think this is the one that was designed to basically like imitate the Tom Ford bronzer brush. It is massive. Fucking huge. But I used that with my my VIEVE bronzer duo today. Oh, let's see. Oh, it separates your foundation. Are you talking about the Rare Beauty? Gemma, you had asked me to let you know what I think of the Makeup by Mario bronzer, and I definitely like it. I just need second darkest shade for summer. I want to get that so bad, because I fucking love... He has one of my favorite, like, these blushes. What is this called? The Soft Pop Blush Stick. This is, like, one of my favorite blushes in my cream blush collection. I love it. Yes to a video on that. Well, we're going to be doing a declutter series soon, so... I may have my first one tomorrow, but I'm still deciding if I want to start it this week or next week. And I'm like, where do I start? I'll probably start with, like, primers, but what fun is that? Who cares about primers? The Refer 22 is too large for bronzer for me. I use the BK, the 107. Which one's that? I think that was the one in my, Oh, no. That was the one I fell in love with, like, after I did my, my bundle with them, like, a year ago. I think it is the 107. It's like a more... It kind of has like a similar shape. It's just smaller. But yes, I like that one too. I still love the Refer number 5. I love this one. Sometimes I'll even use this Hermes brush. I fucking love this brush. If you've been wanting this brush, it's so good. I love it. Oh, let's see. That's the best brush for buffing and finishing powder. Okay, you were talking about the Rare Beauty. BK7 for bronzer. I'm obsessed with declutters. Yes! We're going to have a whole damn series coming for you. So, guys. Oh, she uses the 107. Okay, so that's it for my favorites and fails. We've been here for like an hour. So, there's that, as usual. Leave in the comments what your favorites were, products you would love to see me try, what you guys want to see me try next, because we still got Wayne Goss palettes. We've got the Sigma Beauty Bird palette. If you guys want to see me use the Cosmetics again, oh my god, we got so much stuff. So much stuff, but don't forget the CHANTECAILLE sale if you're wanting to shop. I think today's the last day. And I think that's it. Declutter series coming soon. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Living my best life over there. And I got my last box, or second to last box from my Nordstrom orders. Oh my god. If you didn't see my Insta story today, they sent me a box with literally a hanger in it. Like, a hanger with everything hanging off of it. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Nordstrom's doing the absolute most. Place my first Chantecaille order based on all your products you've been hyping up recently. Use your code So Excited. Yes! Yes! Oh my god, Jessica. Stop it! To the makeup fund. You don't have to donate to the makeup fund. Your views are enough, guys. You don't have to do that. But guys, follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow for my first declutter, but we shall see. Let me know what else you guys want to see. Okay? Okay, bye!